Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. So this is basically 2 episodes after the last one. So we'll do a quick review of what was lost. So basically I did hit the record button of the last episode, but Fraps, which is the program I've used for 8 years now, it recorded, but it just recorded a black video with audio. So you could watch 36 minutes of black screen with random engine noises, but you don't need to. So that is going to be deleted, and I will tell you what I did on what was probably the greatest farming sim episode to have ever been filmed. So basically we did harvest. We finished harvesting our soybeans, and we had 5,500 liter yield. So what we need to do is figure out how much we get after we weed the field. You can kind of tell I messed up again and I let this grow too much. So instead of renting a weeder, we will now have to rent a fertilizer so that we can spray herbicide, because we are on the 3rd growth stage. So I messed up. So basically then we'll compare. Why do I keep saying basically? I'll try to stop. So we will compare the yield we get from one fertilizer and weeding, and compare that to what we got last time, which was just one fertilizer and no weeding. So we did that, and we sold it for like 10 grand. And so, which was in very exciting news, we were able to pay off all of our loans. So we are now at $0 loans. So we will no longer have to pay a interest payment, and we're going to try to keep it that way. I might be persuaded to spend upwards of like 50 grand or so if it's like the difference between getting it now or getting it in 5 episodes. But for now, I'm really excited to just be at $0 of loan. And the other thing I did, I downloaded a sleep mod. So to skip nighttime in this game, you can buy a farmhouse, which is 180 grand. I decided to just download a mod. A commenter sort of led me to this, and it is a $149 deck chair, which serves the same function. So at night you can sleep in it, skip the night, and then you don't have to farm in the dark, and we won't have to watch videos in the dark. So that is good. And the last thing I did to wrap up this review, and then we'll have sort of a shorter episode today just because of time that I spent on that one. Anyway, I chopped down 2 trees, and I cut them small enough so that I could pick them up. So I think each tree was cut into like 6 pieces, which I thought was fine. But then when I sold both trees at the same time, I only made like $2,500. It might even tell me in the spreadsheet. I'm not sure how well they break down. Sold wood. Well, it says 56.45, but that might still be from... I don't remember making that much. I'm pretty sure it's like $2,500. So I'm a little confused, but it was not much for 2 trees worth, plus the very long trek to get there. So it was a little disappointing, but we have $2,700 in the bank. We have no loans out, and that was about the whole episode. I waxed about... Is that the right word? Waxed about? I know waxed intellectually. Anyway, I talked about something with the history of farming sim, and I brought up something they implemented at some point, but I cannot remember. Even though it wasn't that long. It was only yesterday I recorded. I forgot what I was talking about, so it probably wasn't important. And now we can start this episode. And again, this episode will be probably on the shorter side. But for sure, one thing I want to get done is the herbicide. Herbicide? I say herbicide, like herbs, of the field. So again, if you get to the weeds in the first or second growth stage, and you can tell that by looking at it, or if you go here and go to growing and you kind of compare the colors, we are definitely in this third one and not the first two. I also somehow missed like this narrow strip, which was annoying, but it won't really hurt our yield too much. So if you get them in the first two growth stage, you can just get a weeder and just rake over it for free, and you don't have to actually like spray or put anything on the field. Once it gets to the third stage, you do have to do herbicide, and since we don't have a machine for that, we will have to lease one, because again, we're just comparing yields to see if it's worth doing, basically. I'm sure it is, but I just want to verify. So it's 2,400 for a herbicide tank, which is not cheap, which means we're gonna have to take out a loan. Yeah, or we can just not do it this round. How much is it to lease? Crop protection, additional tank. These are expensive. Sprayers and sprayers. And we don't want to buy one because, again, I'll usually use a weeder and I will buy a solid spreader so that we can also use it for lime. So we can just buy this cheap one. Not buy, but lease. So it'll be $1,500 to lease. So we are going to lose some money on this test, but it'll be worth it. We'll have to take out $5,000, but we'll be able to pay it back shortly. So yeah, we're just basically, I just want to test numbers and compare 3 different fields. So this field will be 1 fertilizer and weeding, and then once we harvest this one, we'll do another one, and we'll do like max yield. So we'll do both fertilizer states and weeding, and we'll kind of see what numbers we get. You know what I didn't do? Of course you do. I didn't actually fill this up with anything. I'm also pretty sure the herbicide's expensive, but we should be able to unload it before we return it if I remember to do so, which is a very, very big if. So we won't lose it as long as I remember to do that. And then if we ever need to do herbicide again, we'll have some on hand. Because I doubt the field's going to take more than, what, a quarter of this, maybe? And we even have some left over there, so... yeah, I've never done this. I think I've always weeded on time. And so I'm actually very excited to see if the weeds just disappear as you spray, or if it takes time, kind of like it takes time for them to pop up. Does it take time for them to... I assume they're just going to disappear because it's like a better visual feedback, but we will literally find out in 15 seconds. So we'll unfold. Gosh, that looks good. This is a very good looking game. Hopefully someday I will upgrade my computer and be able to render a little higher. Oh, so yeah. So since Fraps completely destroyed my video, I am... Oh, ignore that. That means I need to flip my Satan, but I've already taken care of that. Just forgot to shut off the alarm. So I am using OBS today, which I've used before whenever I've streamed on Twitch. I've used OBS or XSplit. Okay, so we'll go and turn this on. Yep. Oh, that's so good. The weeds just vanish. We can zoom in and look at that a little better. Oh! Wait a minute. How do you... How do you drive through it without destroying your crops? Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I don't get that. And I'm just going to turn off crop destruction for this one. And if someone could let me know what do they expect you to do? Like, do they expect you to herbicide and just destroy like 2 or 3 rows of crops? Or is there something I'm not thinking about? Honestly, we could play with crop destruction off anyway, so we could just drive through fields without punishment. But we'll just do this temporarily. Yeah, I can't think of how else you would herbicide your field without doing it. Anyway, I'm using OBS, so hopefully it works. I know it's recording. I'm still using Audacity for my voice. And we'll see how it goes. I probably should have switched like 5 years ago, but Fraps has just worked really well for me up until it didn't. So no big deal. It's just one episode. Oops. Yeah, so this will go quickly. I'm probably missing some. I'm really bad at overlapping because I always want to like min-max the time, but it usually ends up costing me time because I end up missing like little slivers here and there, but just something I should just learn for once and for all, but I have not yet. And last row, and then we'll speed up the time. Oh yeah, this corner won't weed, like it won't grow weeds. So let me speed up the time. And while I finish, yeah, that corner there, like no matter how much time was passing, it wouldn't like develop weeds, which is how we got to the 3rd growth stage, because I kept waiting for that one corner to pop before I slowed down time. And before it did, the field was already at 3rd growth. So it was a bit unfortunate. So I'm going to have to keep this for a little bit. I'll show you the corner. Look at that. Oh, that's where I destroyed. God. So that's going to hurt our yield a little, but it's going to be fairly negligible. So I'm not too worried about the comparison. Yeah, I think this corner, like right here where my cursor is, I'm hoping it's recording my cursor. I don't think it is. Darn it. I need to change that setting in OBS so that you can see my cursor. The top left corner. So I'm going to just skip ahead until something with our crops happen. Okay, so nothing's happened, but it is nighttime. So I want to try out this sleep mod. We need to find a place. Oh, that's fine. We need to find a place for our deck chairs. Somewhere that is around here, but where I won't want to build anything. I'm thinking by this light pole. Maybe by this light pole. Or under this tree so we can like watch traffic. How do we rotate? Arrow keys, yeah, like that. And then I won't tend to drive into them too much, hopefully. Okay, so now we can sleep, and it should get us to morning, but it should not affect our crops. So we should still wake up and it should be growth stage 3. Sleep. Oh, 12 hours would be 9 hours. Would be about 6:42, which should be right enough. And we can't re-sleep. Wait, did I mess this up? What did I say? 9? Well, maybe it will affect. So that should be the last loan interest payment. Oh no, we did have to take out 5,000. Oh, I did the math real bad. 9 to 9. Oh, 1900 to 9. I'm not used to the 24-hour clock. Oh, that's unfortunate because you can't. Oh yeah, you can. So let's sleep for 2 more hours. Yikes. I do know how 24-hour clock works. I just completely messed that up. Oh, it does. Okay. That is good to know. It does affect the growth rate, which actually I prefer that the time actually passes. I thought it would just like skip ahead, like it magically like didn't exist. So before we start harvesting, let's make sure there are no weeds. Not that I think it's too late anyway. If there were weeds. So yeah, that corner was so weird. It like never developed weeds. Anyway, we're gonna start a worker. And the harvests definitely take a lot less time now that we have a larger header, even though it does go slow once in a while. Someone commented and said that's because of the power it takes to run a larger header. It needs to like, it tends to run the combine slower, which makes sense. But that's fine, and then we can... Now let's drive through this guy's field. So we need to go unload the herbicide. What I want to do is refill it. I think we're still going to have 2 pallets of herbicide. So I don't think what we have at the shop is going to completely fill up this tank, but let's just go try it anyway, and then we'll unload it, and then we can take one of the tanks back to the farm at least, since we have our front loader on the front. Sounds like my cat's being bad upstairs, but what else is new? Okay, so we have a large tank. Let's unload. So how much is in this one? If it might not be worth having 2 of them if it's like 100. It's probably worth it. Okay, and now we can return this sprayer. And while we're here, we'll take this. Every time, just get out of my way. Oh, that was easy. We'll take the larger one back so I remember which one is which. We shouldn't ever need them again, but it's like we might as well store them somewhere. Am I at the wrong? Yeah. I want to be on this side of the pallet. What? What is happening? Oh yeah, this isn't a pallet fork. This is a log. Oh. I'm a dummy. I forgot that I just bought the log fork. I'm so used to just always buying a pallet fork. We might as well buy one. How much is it to paint? I think you can do John Deere green. Let's do it. We got the money. It's only 200. It's not irresponsible, right? John Deere green. Yes. The other thing we'll do while we're here, just so things match, is we will customize this and spend $200. Strange. There. And now things match. We'll just leave this here because we want the pallet fork. And then I am pretty sure I was right the first time. So we're going to move this over. That front light is super bright. There we go. That's much better. Excuse me. What am I doing? I was trying to honk and I hit the... There we go. I was hitting H for honk, but it's actually 0, which it even tells me in the top left, which I need to get rid of. Alright, so here's what we'll do. We'll set this down somewhere on the cement, and then we'll probably call it an episode, and I will once again let the combine finish before the next episode, and we can figure out what we need to do on the next episode. Oh, you know what I could also do? I could start planting. Like, why not? Fertilizer should be fine. So I just need to make sure it doesn't catch up to the combine, which it might. Yeah, I'm not going to do it yet. I'll wait. Otherwise, I'll stress myself out. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be it. So sorry if this is a shorter episode. I think it's actually fairly normal length based on what I'm looking at here. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully OBS records this and it works. And if not, I will just do another one. So if you enjoyed the episode, leave a like or a subscribe or a comment if you would want to do that. And of course, as always, have yourselves a very nice day.